Hello, thanks for joining me today. This is Danny and welcome back to my modded 1.10.2 series. Today is going to be kind of part build episode and part mob grinder building episode. Ultimately, I want to build a mob grinder today that will be kind of a general mob grinder that will allow us to grind up all kinds of different mods easily, or mobs, and also like some special to things like wither skulls and be able to switch them on and off. But now when I started building this in this world, I decided to go with small builds like this little house, and then I kind of sprawled out around this yard and made a big mess back here. And then we started this little town over here to kind of build my power plants and some of my techie stuff. And it's been working out pretty nicely that I get to do all these different builds and kind of put them all together into somewhat of a cohesive little town, which has been really fun. Now the only problem with it is that every time I want to do something new that takes up any amount of space, I have to do a whole new build. So that's what part of this episode is going to be about today, and we'll have fun with this. So I'm planning on doing kind of a almost like a techie or like a tech factory kind of build with like a little outlet shop in the front. So we're gonna have like our mob spawning areas in the back, and then I'm planning on having like a glass front or a glass corner here with the entrance on the corner with almost kind of a storefront-ish look. And then we'll have the mob spawning in the back, like in back rooms that are dark, and maybe we'll have some like dark glass where we can kind of peek in on what's going on back there. And then I'm gonna have like all the mob stuff displayed out in the front, all the mob drops, and then we'll have a couple of levers so that we can control the different spawners that we're gonna have in there. And eventually we're gonna have a wither boss spawner in here as well. So I guess the first thing we're gonna have to deal with is figuring out what kind of blocks we're going to use. And I'm thinking for colors, I'm gonna go with like a white and blue and black. That's kind of what I'm thinking, as just to be kind of like a modern, high-tech, like service kind of building sort of thing. So this is a chiseled blue stained glass. I think I'm gonna use that on the top. I think I'm actually gonna use white glass on the bottom. I'm gonna have the entryway here, and it might actually be in one, so that there's kind of a little bit of an overhang. And then I'm going to have some kind of a pillar thing here made of some chiseled, where'd it go? Flat colored blocks. So we've got our colored block crafter here, and because I have some blue floral dye in my inventory, I'm seeing all the options for all the different blue colors. And there's also glass because I have glass in my inventory. Although I'm not going to take glass, I'm just doing regular stained glass. That way, one of the problems with the flat colored blocks is it's one die per block, where the stained glass is one die per 8 blocks. So I have to kind of decide. I actually want two different shades of gray. Of blue. I want kind of a grayish blue. Actually, maybe like that first one. And then I want a deep blue, like that. For the gray areas, I'm thinking that. Yes, it's hollow. Trying to save on blocks. Impose? Is that what we want? Does that work? Oh yeah, look at that. And I'm cutting my laboratory blocks in half using the diamond bit saw, which is very nice. Then I don't have to deal with patterns or anything like that. This is looking quite small now that it's all together. But I'm kind of restricted here in space. You know how some cities have really beautiful landscapes with nice, beautiful buildings, and then you have that one big, loud, ugly government building like right in the middle of downtown where all the beautiful buildings are, and there's some big eyesore of a government building, like the IRS building or something like that. Yeah, the concept seemed cool in my mind, and now that I've put it here, I'm not real crazy about it. It's just the colors are too loud. I wish I would have gone with some more subtle colors, especially since everywhere else, I mean, we've got kind of softer colors, and then all of a sudden you've got this big, bright, tall building. So I'm gonna see what I can do to kind of soften it up a little. I made these smaller, they don't stick out as far now. And I kind of set that in just to give it a little bit more depth. Of course, I got rid of the blue on the top. I made the roof a little bit smaller. I'm gonna use all my extra blue stuff for the top, just because I've got a lot of extra blue blocks, and we won't really be able to see that much anyway until we're inside. And I'm not too worried about the interior because, you know, it's gonna be mob spawning back here. So, but this area I want to look kind of decent. If you want a nice, easy way to get blocks back from your bits, just put it on a chisel design, a whole block, and then we can do placement. We just place regular blocks, and it's actually placing them from our bits. So we can use up all those bits. And well, it's a little bit less obnoxious now. I made it shorter again, and I have cyan hardened clay here, which is gray. It's not cyan. And then of course I got rid of the big blue stripe on the top. The only problem is that's the same texture as the road, but that's okay. I don't mind that. And then I've got the floor, I've got marble on the floor for now. Except back here I've got basalt. This is a chisel block. Actually, these are both chisel blocks. And so apparently we now have Chisel World Gen, which is cool. Oh, and we got one sand. And then I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do about this door. I'm actually thinking of getting the, what's it called, Malasis or whatever, doors mod, for the glass doors, because I'm having a lot of issues with doors lately, with not liking the doors that are available to me. The first test is going to be whether or not mobs are going to spawn here on Cursed Earth, even though we have the powered lantern. If they don't, we might have some trouble. We may have to move this building, which I kind of want to anyway, because I don't like it here. I really don't like it here. It isn't so much that it's a terrible building, I just don't like it here. I would rather have it over there. But too late. This is the Draconic Mob Grinder, which will kill everything almost instantly. And it acts like a player. And ink. And that should make dark, clear glass. Okay, well apparently the mob grinder is letting light bleed through, which is kind of messed up. But we can fix that. And put that down. Oops, put that there. And just put a block there. Okay, there we go. So now it's dark in there. I'm going to place down my drop of evil, and let's hope... Whoa, that was fast. Let's hope... Oh, yep, it's working! Hooray! Nice! Oh my god, look at all that stuff. We now have a spawner and a grinder, we just need to collect all our stuff. They're so fast, that creeper was just tearing around in there like crazy. So I got rid of that glass so that light comes in, but there's actually a dark spot. Why are they not? Okay, so maybe I guess the Draconic... Oh, crap. The mob grinder is only 7 by 7, so we'll have to reduce the size of that room. Which is fine. I mean, you could see how quickly the mobs were spawning in there. Step 1, we got mobs spawning. Step 2, the mobs are being ground? I don't know. Step 3 is collecting the stuff and the XP. So the XP, we're going to collect with the Killer Joe. Reduce the size of this room to 5 by 5, because... Hey, what's happened there? What happened there? That's good. I reduced the size of the room to 5 by 5 because that is the range of the Killer Joe, which is going to collect our XP for us, because I have a bucket of nutrient distillation in there. I'm going to put... It'll put liquid XP in a tank below it, an ender tank, and it will not consume the nutrient distillation because he's not going to be grinding. Our mob grinder is going to be grinding, and actually I think I'm going to put it over here instead, so that way we don't have to, so we can block the light over here without having to have a block out in our main storefront area. Alright, I've got a redstone lamp in here, a big ugly redstone lamp, with a redstone receiver that I already have linked to this redstone transmitter. Wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. See how fast that guy was running? Okay, now they're linked. Put a redstone transmitter right there. And a lever. Hooray! Ta-da! I'm actually going to put the vacuum chest like that. Let's see what happens if we throw something over here. Okay, that works. There's still light getting in there somehow. But it seems to be okay because they're spawning like crazy. Yeah, there's a very small amount of light getting in there. Oh, maybe from this? Oh yeah, it's from that. Okay. Instead of having this stuff go directly into our system like we've done in the past, I'm actually going to have this go into a set of storage drawers so that we have a little bit better control over what kind of items we're allowing. I put the vacuum chest in the middle, and the reason I did that is so that I can set the range smaller. So that if I'm in there and I drop something, it's not going to interfere. So that is just about perfect. Okay. Yeah. So we don't have to worry about our vacuum chest picking up stuff. Or pulling. If it won't pull stuff through a wall, so it'll just sit there and the items will dance around on the edge. So now we can tell this guy to start pulling items. And we should see stuff coming into our... Oh boy. Our storage drawers. Okay, a lot of this stuff. We don't really... It's just stuff that got picked up accidentally. We've got a trash can from Extra Utilities. And I'm setting up a filter. We want to delete all the bows. And we want to ignore metadata. We also want to ignore damage. You know what? We're probably going to need a advanced item filter. Crap. Shift, left click. I've got the advanced item filter in here now. I have it set to fuzzy mode for any damage. And we're ignoring metadata. We're sticky mode is disabled. Our OR dictionary is disabled. It doesn't really matter. And we're ignoring MBT to set the priority to this one higher than that one. They're both the same. And since that one's first on the network, it is going to put stuff in there. So we'll just set the priority to 1. So right now we have none. And hooray, we still have none. Nice. This is working beautifully. I was actually planning on setting up a powered spawner in there for creepers. But I don't need it. I'm getting more freaking gunpowder and catalyzing glands from this, from just having the cursed earth than I was from my creeper spawner. So this is fine. The only thing that I'm actually going to want to be able to spawn other than what's in there now, oh, I would have fixed that, other than what's in there now, is wither skeletons. So I am going to set up a wither skeleton spawner in there, and I'm going to have another lever out here where we can turn it on and off. And maybe I'll actually put a label on it so that we can know what they are. Hey, creeper. They're so fast. Let's see what the... Oh, I guess there was still some power in there. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Let's show the range and see... Oh boy. That's a bit of a problem. Because this means that we could potentially have wither skeletons spawning out here. And out here. Crap! Our room is 1 block too small in each direction. Well, this is mostly working. Like, 9 out of 10 of them are spawning inside there. Maybe even more than that. Maybe 19 out of 20 are spawning inside there. But every once in a while I get one that spawns out here. Or even over here. And actually if they spawn here, they end up getting killed by the grinder unless they walk away before the grinder kills them. So obviously that's not ideal. Well, I moved the spawner over a little bit so that all of the spawning area is inside. There's none outside anymore, and you can see if I look at it on an angle, we can see that that's right at the border, that outside wall, which is perfect. And then the inside, we've got all this area. So I've got these RF Tools shield template blocks that are blocking off this area, so that the only thing we have to worry about is wither skeletons. So we have to make sure that there's no 3 tall spawnable area within the red. So this, actually that spot should be covered. And we're going to have to go through this door, and we're going to trap ourselves in here just for a second. And we only have to have one there. Uh-oh, I'm going to need more blocks. Crap. And I'm stuck in here now. Actually, you know what? This room is only 3 tall. So we can get away with going like that. Yeah, we're going to need some more blocks, but that's okay for now. I'm just going to do this. And then we've got to have one that's connected to that. So I'm going to have to go down here, and then we say players can pass. Hostile mobs, it's solid. And we're just going to make it invisible so that we can't even see it. And then we're going to grab our smart wrench. Oh, we were using a shape card. We're not going to do that. We're using the shield blocks. That's just an alternative. Instead of using the shield templates, you can actually use a shape card. In this case, I don't want to use a shape card because this is such an odd shape. And plus, I've found the shape cards to not always be real reliable. So that should, well, let's just test this out now. That should prevent them from spawning out here. And most of this room, they can still spawn like in this little corner right here. And that'll be it. So let's see what happens. This is working perfectly now. Hooray, look at all the stuff we've got pouring in here. And I'm voiding a lot of stuff. I'm voiding pretty much everything that doesn't stack. The bows, the swords, the armor. Because I mean, we really have no use for that kind of stuff anyway. But we've got lots of rotten flesh. Hooray. We've got a whole bunch of wither skeleton skulls already. 12. So we can spawn a bunch of withers already. And some ender pearls, but we've got tons of those anyway. But, well, you can see we've got lots and lots of stuff. We even have some dimlet parcels, which we'll be playing with very soon. Now that we've got a decent power supply, we're definitely going to be getting into dimension building very soon. We've got a bunch of drops of evil, which we don't have. Oh, there's another item we're going to want to filter out. I don't know who's dropping sticks. But we keep getting sticks, I keep throwing them away, and then they keep coming back. But I guess I'll just leave them there. Have a bunch of different skulls. And all the reliquary drops. And then these kind of interesting drops. Everything down here is stuff that I'm not going to void. If this overflows, I'll just have it send it into our system. But these up here, I've got void upgrades on it. And I have a storage upgrade, the emerald storage upgrade, which multiplies the storage by 13. And then also I gave them all status upgrades so that we can actually see a progress bar showing how full they are. So I can quickly run in here and take a look and see, oh, we need more storage for this or that or whatever. But we actually have a bunch of empty drawers anyway, so. So what I ended up doing is I've got RF Tools storage blocks. Actually, why don't we do this for a second? Got the RF Tools storage block, the RF Tools shield blocks all out here just to prevent withers from spawning, because this is the range of the wither spawner. And I moved it. It's actually, oh, it's probably have a better view in here. I moved it right there. And I also moved this wall over 1 block, so that room is a little bit bigger now. Because I was having a problem with withers not spawning in there very much. Like, it would go through a bunch of cycles before it would spawn, which is a big waste of RF because that thing sucks a lot of RF. And that's because there just wasn't enough space for them to spawn in. Because I had the glowstone lamp down, and I also had that redstone receiver thing right there, or yeah, the redstone receiver. So there wasn't much room for them to spawn. So I moved that up one, and then I've got the redstone receiver up here on top of the building. So that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. Actually, let's make this invisible again. Oh. Transparent, solid, invisible. There we go. So now we can't even tell they're there. So this one is the lights, and that'll stop all the regular mobs from spawning, and this is the wither skeleton. I should probably put signs or something so that we can keep track of that. And then down here I've got an external storage hooked up from our refined storage system so that we can see all this stuff in our system, although I have it at a priority of -10. So our refined storage doesn't send anything over here, so the only thing that will end up in here is stuff that we actually get from our mob farm. And then we'll be able to, so that way we can kind of see here, you know, we can come here and look and kind of keep track of like, oh, this is doing really well, or this isn't doing so well, or whatever. Yeah. And then I've got a couple of extra upgrades on the wall here in case I want to upgrade some more drawers. This is a function of the immersive craft. Where you, I think by default it's shift right click, but I changed it to the, what did I change it to? Shift P? No. Oh, I don't remember. Oh, shift middle click. I changed it to shift middle click. If you hold down the shift key, you'll be able to see how many are there. Where did the other one? There's the other one. Void upgrades. And then once you place one in a block, then you can just place others in the block by right clicking. And then, uh-oh, where'd that one go? Crap. Did you see that? It like floated away. That was weird. That's disturbing because those are kind of expensive. Those are like 4 emeralds a piece. Where the heck did that thing go? Oh, there it is. It's out here. What the heck? Weird. Okay. And we can put up to 4 things in each block. So let's get out of this noisy place. Now, I don't like where I put this building, but I don't know. We'll see. I may end up moving it off camera. In the next episode, we're going to come in here, and we're going to make a wither boss spawner and grinder. Using that thing, well, another one of those actually, and other various, I haven't actually quite figured everything out yet, but other various things. We're going to do it with, we're going to have it automatically spawn withers, and we're going to kind of auto-craft. We're going to set it up for auto-crafting of nether stars. So the only problem is I was going to use this space. I made this room smaller, so I'll have to figure out another solution for that, but we'll figure that out in the next episode. And then after that, at some point in the future, I want to kind of finish, well, maybe not finish, but I want to add more to this area. I want to have a bunch of little shops here. Just like a bunch of little storefronts with like villagers inside, like some choice villagers that we pick out and employ to act as little shopkeepers. And then here I wanted to have like a town square. Maybe a little, well, I guess we don't want another fountain, we've already got one over there, but you know, just like a couple little benches and some pathways and just kind of a thing, except I don't like this as a backdrop to it, so we'll see. I may end up, that was bizarre, I may end up moving this building over here and doing that over here instead, having a bunch of shops over here. They'd have to be very small shops, but that might work. I don't know. If you do have any questions or comments or suggestions or whatever, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to click the like button. And to join me next time, thanks for watching.